Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hard Count Football Podcast Live. My name is Jacob Charnow, leading the next generation of football fans live on the Hard Count Football YouTube channel and right here on Bucks Report. The franchise tag deadline has passed. It was at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern today, and we have so much to talk about tonight. So much to talk about. Very exciting. Some very exciting stuff. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. Let's start with the Bucks, right? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Lot to talk about them right now. The Buccaneers are franchise tagging Chris Godwin. What this means is that Shaq Barrett is most likely going to hit free agency. Now, people in the comments are going to get mad here and say, "Oh, they're working on a long-term deal with Shaq Barrett. Oh, this, that." I don't think Shaq Barrett's going to end up re-signing with this team, right? I'm also not a fan of letting that happen at all. The depth at receiver for this team is ridiculous. Guys like Tyler Johnson, Scotty Miller, ready to fill that Godwin role in the slot, be an effective slot receiver. Maybe not to the extent that Chris Godwin fills it week to week, but they are certainly capable of stepping in and looking like great receivers, especially I'm a huge Tyler Johnson fan from what we saw of him last year. But now what's happening is this offense is going to be good at the right. You have Tom Brady there. You have Mike Evans. Gronk's going to come back. I doubt you'll get Leonard Fournette back, but you'll still have Rojo. You'll have Keyshawn Vaughn. And then you could have a Tyler Johnson, Scotty Miller, whoever you want at receiver, and Antonio Brown back. So now what's happening is, on top of this already loaded, you're going to keep loading up this receiver core, but you're letting a top 5 edge rusher walk is effectively what's going to happen. This defense is what won you the Super Bowl. I don't know, it's easy to say, oh, Tom Brady walked in there and beat the Chiefs, but he really didn't. It was this defensive line and this pass rush that dominated the Chiefs in Super Bowl 55. The 3 hardest positions to fill in the NFL, in my opinion, are quarterback, left tackle, and pass rush, and finding a good pass rusher. You have the depth at receiver even without Godwin. And I think they probably should have tagged a guy like Shaq Barrett. The Bucks also worked out a deal with Lavonte David for a 2-year extension worth $25 million. This is actually a 5-year deal, as reported by Mike Garafolo. Mike Garafolo, sorry, I always butcher his name. 5-year deal that becomes voidable after the first 2 years, which means it's essentially a 2-year deal, and I think 20 million of it is guaranteed-ish. But if for some reason his talent deteriorates or something happens with Lavonte David, he gets injured, he's 31 years old, so he's not a young guy. That's 5 years? No way. So 2 years, they get out of it. And then this also keeps Lavonte David's cap number this year at $3.5 million this year, which is extremely manageable for this team. And yes, it's going to help when you're re-signing a guy like Shaq Barrett. But don't forget, there are other positions on this team that you need to fill. That's the reality, right? You're not going to – guys are going to walk. Guys are going to come back. You need backups. I hate to tell you, you need to fill a 53-man roster, right? You're not just going to pay your starter. You need to pay everybody on the team. So I don't know how likely it is that Shaq Barrett's actually going to get re-signed. I really don't. Teams want him. Teams are going to want Shaq Barrett. Teams are going to be looking for edge rushers. Shaq Barrett, Matt Judon, all these guys, Trey Hendrickson. They're going to have huge markets. And I don't know if you guys have the room or anything, or Shaq Barrett is going to work out this long-term deal in Tampa. And if you're a Bucs fan, I'm sure you're going to be arguing with me and saying, oh no, Barrett's going to be here forever. This whole team we're going to win 100,000 Super Bowls in the next 100,000 years. We're going to win one every single year, back to back. It's not realistic. It's not going to happen. Guys are going to walk. Guys are going to come. It's just because your team is good, guys still want money, right? The guys want money. That's what I think is going to happen with Shaq Barrett. It's good you got Lavonte David back. He's a captain on this defense, but I think Shaq Barrett should have been a priority. He should have been the top priority this offseason, in my opinion, just because of how hard it is to find a good pass rusher in this league. Also, something I heard recently, that Tom Brady wanted Odell Beckham Jr. to come to the Bucks. Guys, if you are if you're sitting there right now and you legitimately think that the Buccaneers are going to get Odell Beckham Jr., you're nuts. This is a pipe dream. If you think, oh my God, there's just simply no way that this can ever happen. Between the cap and his contract and everything, it's super unrealistic. Also, why would you even want OBJ? I couldn't understand it for the life of me. I mean, Cleveland was better when he didn't play, and you don't need to trade for a huge contract at your best position on the field. I was just talking about how good you guys are at receiver. Like I don't think Bucks fans. Do you guys tell me in the comments? Would you even want OBJ on your team? And I'm not. This is not OBJ slander. I think that he's still a very talented player, and he's whatever team if he plays in Cleveland next year, wherever he goes, he's going to produce, and he's still a great receiver. But I don't think you need him on the Bucks. I think you have that culture. He's going to want the ball. I'm not a fan of bringing in OBJ. To the building. I just don't think so. So those are the three main stories with the Bucks, and we're going to bring in two of our Buccaneer experts in here, Johnny Dean, the professor, and Matt Colson. What's going on, guys? How are you tonight?
Hey.
How's it going, Jacob?
Let's get through some of these comments real quick. Okay. Yeah, this will be a great team to develop for Schneckberg. Here's what we're doing. We're kind of doing half the show Buccaneers, and then half the show we're going the rest of the NFL. There is so much to talk about tonight, and this isn't just a Buccaneers show. So yeah, LB Daisy going anywhere. No, he's not. You're right. We're gonna re-sign Barrett, man. Direct says okay. Nick Valley says, "What do you think the Lions are gonna do with Galladay and Okora?" I'll get to that in a little bit later in the show. Keep watching. Brady wants OBJ, Von Miller, and Jadeveon Clowney. He could want. Okay. Listen, if Tom Brady wants him, great, right? If Tom Brady, good for him. If Tom Brady, everyone wants him. There are probably 20 other teams in the NFL that would love to have OBJ on their team. But, and this is something that it's
why
people aren't going to get it through their minds that just because Tom Brady wants him does not mean that he's going to automatically be a Buccaneer next year. I know it's crazy, but Tom Brady has a lot of power on this team. Not as much as to trade whatever you're going to need to trade for OBJ. That's I really don't think it would be a good move. And obviously Brady wants a top receiver in the NFL. It only makes. I mean, he's a quarterback. Why would you not? Right?
He's already got 5.
Right. Why do you need? You have 2 top 10 receivers on your team already.
I think that's just blow hard nose, man. I don't believe that whatsoever, man. What's OBJ done besides be famous for one catch with the Giants and one good season?
Yeah, after his injury, when he was in New York, he hasn't really been the same since then.
He apologized to the kicking net. You got to give the man credit.
Yeah, I guess so.
There you go. Christopher Cole says Shaq isn't going anywhere because Mike Greenberg and his staff are great at what they do. Okay.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. And look at the contract terms that LVD signed. Come on.
I know. But
not only that, look at the tag that's on Godwin.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot less than anybody thought Godwin was going to sign a tag for.
Yeah, Shaq Barrett. If you guys can re-sign him, fantastic. Like, good for you should.
Locker room mentality has a lot to do with signing, also, dude. And don't think it doesn't, because nobody wants to. It's like when you go. Well, you haven't had a chance to be in the workforce yet, but when you go to a job, you get comfortable in that job, or you're uncomfortable in that job. It depends on that a lot. A lot of that depends. If you're not comfortable with a job, you're going to find a different job. If you're comfortable with a job, you'll be there for years.
That's true. And I don't think that. I think that what they did today. With the putting the tag on and getting Levante David all squared away, immediately Shannon Sharp says, they can't have they lost Barrett, they lost Sue, all of them are going to be gone. It's going to be a whole new team. And if Shannon Sharp tells you that, then you can go 180 degrees the other direction and know that you're right.
Yeah, guaranteed.
We are going to buckle this whole team down on the defensive side, and it'll get done in a month and a half, within the next 6 weeks.
I'm not being all rah-rah about it, but comments, look what Jerry Jones did. When I saw what Jerry Jones did, I thought it kind of opened the floodgates. I think Jerry Jones has some insight into what's going on with the broadcasting rights. And
Yes,
I think
he does.
he signed that deal. He did that for the simple reason that he knows what's coming around the corner.
And
Yeah, we'll talk about the Dak thing in a little bit, but this is Shaq Barrett is he's a great player, and
but would he be this great in Cleveland?
yes,
Would
yeah,
he be
Yeah,
this good
Cleveland's got a
in New
great
York?
defense too.
yeah,
Would he be this good in New York?
yeah.
No.
I think
No, he
so.
wasn't. No.
And-
There's
and-
don't play the
compliments
same
coming
style
around.
in the first place.
He's got the nose tackle, Sue and Vita Vea. Those two take up people. You got JPP taking up a person. You got somebody
Honestly,
looking
Brando,
at
that can be said for every edge rusher. You need the defensive tackle in there and the others to do their job.
Well,
I
he
think-
looks a lot better than he is because of the fact of who he's got around him. He's got 3 Pro Bowlers right there lined up across the line from him. So he isn't going to fall into that in Houston or any of these other places that's looking for a big splash signing. And Brady's going to get him on the phone and say, look, man, here's how much money you can make, and then we'll put in bonuses. We're going to go to the Super Bowl. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. You're not going to have to worry about it. And it'll all get worked out. I
sure.
guarantee you it's going to get worked out.
I expect him to sign a $13 million contract with a year, and maybe that'll be lowered because of the bonuses and stuff they put in there.
Brady's still got targets to make this year. He wants to he wants to go undefeated one more time. He wants to go back to back again, and I wouldn't put it past him to be shooting for. I put this in a post just a few minutes ago. If he went to 3 in a row and won them, then he'd be thinking about retirement. But I think he's got the nucleus of the team. If we can hold it all together, and this year's signing alignment is going to make or break it, really. But if Brady can get
don't discount Jacobs' philosophy over there either, because that's very possible as well.
I mean, are we sure that Shaq Barrett isn't going to want a long-term contract either? So that he's not going to take a 1-year deal right now. It wouldn't make sense for him to take a 1-year deal right now.
nobody could take a
I'm not talking
really,
about 1-year deal.
he could take a 5-year deal that's all top loaded.
If they show him love and show him that they want him around, and then show him that, hey man, when this money hits in 2022, we'll renegotiate again. Then I'm pretty sure you got Shaq.
I think they'll. What I think is going to end up happening is I think Shaq Barrett's going to hit free agency, right? Because he didn't get tagged. That's what's going to happen. But listen, if you're Tampa, and you're Shaq Barrett, and you're looking at it, and Tampa's offering you 3 years, $13 million a year, right? But a team like the Raiders is offering you 4 years, $15 million a year. What are you taking?
The one with the biggest guarantee.
I'm taking the one with the security.
Yeah, and Gruden is not secure. The guy,
If you go free
Khalil
agency,
Mack, for Christ's sake, nobody's secure under Gruden. That's just
Gruden's
crazy.
not secure.
If he wants to be in a home in a little nest in his crib, Tampa's where it's at. Plus, it's warm here, so he doesn't have to worry about snow except maybe 4 games a year.
I mean, how much of a factor besides the Brady thing? Because he's obviously whatever, but how much of a factor is weather in playing a free agent position to go somewhere?
A lot.
I would think it would be if you were in a position where you can choose.
Depends on what kind of player you are too. If you like the rugged conditions and stuff, then sure, go up north. If you like to play where you can play year long, or you can stay in good shape all year long, then you want to
train
go
all
south.
year round. Keeping your trainer happy, making your body last longer. Because I lived in Florida and played softball 12 months in a year, all the time, from the time I was 25 till I was 30. When I moved away from Florida, I'm in a seasonal area now. I can't hit a softball anymore because I can't keep it in rhythm, and I'm old. But there was a distinct drop off. By the 3rd year I was up here, I wasn't able to practice as much. And I'm just a guy. Just imagine if you're making your living off of that. I mean, right. He's out doing his gig now, and he's got boys out in the park with him, doesn't he? He's going out to Berkeley Prep or wherever they do their thing. He's already got people out getting ready for OTAs. can't do that in New England. It's 13 degrees right now. So we'd have to get an indoor stadium somewhere and practice. I don't know that it's that easy to do.
Yeah,
but that's just me.
All right, let's get through some more of these comments here. David says, yes, the defense dominated the Chiefs, but I didn't see any pick sixes. Brady's offense scored the touchdowns. It was an entire team effort. It was an entire team effort, but all your defense was putting your offense in a position to score almost every single time they were on the field.
Yeah, even when Brady threw the interceptions, the defense it was in perfect spots, man. It wasn't like we were in bad position. That was a perfect game, man.
Right.
The defense did win that game.
Zach Johnson says, you'll see. Very likely he comes back. Zach Johnson, very adamant about Shaq Barrett here tonight. He says, what do you mean, you guys? Are you not a Bucs fan? No, I'm not, but I do cover the Bucs. I cover the entire NFL. But congratulations.
Zach, we're converting him. We're converting him slowly.
It'll never happen. Cool says a trophy. Nice. Rick Hughes here tonight. They will pay Shaq Barrett. They just signed a deal similar to what they did with David. I spread the signing bonus over years. I think it's a very different. I think Shaq Barrett's looking to get paid big time right now. Lavonte David, there's more hometown loyalty to that because he's been here for so long. I think, right? I think it's a different situation.
And there's loyalty with Shaq too, because we're the team that gave him a shot. He sat in Denver for 7 years and didn't get a shot. We're the ones that gave him a shot. You don't think there's some loyalty there?
I mean,
there should be.
There is, but
Rick
Lavonte
says
David's
no
31
loyalty
years
in
old.
football, so you can take that for what it's worth, I guess.
Yeah. David says hell no to on Odell Beckham. I think that's kind of.
I agree with that.
Johnny, you also agree there. Tim says OBJ's a hard pass. OBJ, hell no to OBJ. Everyone, no one is a fan of OBJ here tonight. It's not what we want. It's what Brady wants. It's Brady seems. No, it's okay.
Okay, I'm going to agree 100% with Jacob. Whatever he says now.
Look who wrote that. That's that troll. That
troll.
I know.
LVD Godwin staying so far. Oh yeah. Zach Johnson says, dude, that report was so fake. Oh, the OBJ one? I think Adam Schefter reported it, if I'm correct, right? I think that was a Schefter. That was a Schefter tweet. So
I think Sheffy might got caught up in a fake post too.
Possibly. Zach Johnson's really going off here tonight. He's a head case, dude. Dude, OBJ is 2 healthy seasons out of 7. Yeah, forget that. Okay. Got CG, got David, 1 more to go. Make it happen, Jason. We believe. All right, Jason Light, if you're watching this, Pac-Man is a strong believer in getting Shaq Barrett back on the team. Troy Durham, I read somewhere Shaq working on a long-term deal. Yeah, so I mean, sure. I think a lot of these guys are going to take less to say here. David said everyone wants to come back, so they had to know if you want to come back, you got to take less.
But you get more in the end because you make it up in the playoffs.
That guy that said he read that Shaq was working on a long-term deal, I did read something like that.
So did I. I saw something, but I don't really know. I don't know. There's a lot going on right now.
Everybody's working on a long-term deal right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what their agents are doing.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, I don't know what kind of deal Sue would be working on. He'd be working on a short-term deal, I'm pretty sure. 2 years at the most, right?
Yeah. 2 years.
Everyone wants to get paid though. That's how Zach Johnson says big time. Zach, Oklahoma, right? Okay. Shannon Sharp is an idiot. I like that. I like Undisputed. I watch it a lot. It's very entertaining.
God.
Shannon Sharp is a complete dunce. He makes Max Kellerman look like Einstein.
Okay, but this is also sports television here we're talking about. They're not getting paid to go out there and know what that they're getting out there to go and get views. Same reason why Cowherd has all these takes, why Skip Bayless does all this, why Shannon Sharp does all this. They're all trying to get clicks, and I actually find it relatively entertaining to disagree with them. So, I mean, I don't. If I agreed with
Matt, that's how it works, buddy.
I watch Colin Cowherd because of Joy Taylor. I could give a damn what Colin.
Fun fact, Joy Taylor was my 3rd interview that I ever did. I interviewed her back in June, I believe. So that was interesting.
No way.
Yeah.
Really good.
Check it out on the Hard Count Football YouTube channel, right there. I think she was my 3rd interview.
I thought I watched all yours, but I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it's down at the bottom.
I wouldn't know how to talk to her. If I met her face to face, I'd be like, "Oh my god!" I wouldn't know what to do.
All right, Matt, he doesn't have the blame button.
Oh boy. All right. Tim says, in order for Shaq to maintain his prowess, he needs to stay where he's at. He needs that D-line with double V in the middle.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. We'll see there. Zach Johnson says big time again. Nice. Proud of you here, Zach. Don't discount what rookies like Wirfs and Winfield had this season. I think 95% of the rookies played fantastic. I think most of your rookies played fantastic. David Turner says he would be dumb to go to the Raiders. And guys, the Raiders were just an example. Relax. There's a lot of teams that are going to be interested in Shaq Barrett if he hits the market. The Titans are one. I'm sure the Jets will give him a call. The Giants will give them a call. This is there's a lot of teams interested in edge rushers because it's such a hard position to find.
Yeah.
Zach, Jacob, you're getting roughed up. I don't know what you're talking about, Zach. Yeah. Terrible analogy. Zach, boy.
Which analogy was that?
I don't know. One of them. He doesn't. Zach, you don't like the show tonight? I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Wouldn't we have seen media coverage of him at Berkeley Prep if they were there?
No.
Mike says, "Hey boys, what's up, Mike?" Yes, the defense put them in a great position, but you still got to execute on offense too. They did execute on offense, but I think a lot of and we'll get Harry in here in a little bit.
We scored 30 points.
Yeah, but look at the position.
In the Super Bowl against a team that was supposed to be a juggernaut, that was unstoppable. I even thought they were going to be a problem. We shut them down.
To give a lot of credit to myself and Harry the Greek here, I think it was week 12 or 13 after the Chiefs and the Bucs played the first time. We came on week 10 or something. We came on here and said, this team is vulnerable. And for the last 7 and then the last however many weeks we said this Chiefs team is very, very beatable. Right?
I said that same thing, but right after the Raiders beat them. And I said that going into the first game against the Chiefs.
Credit to you also. We'll give you as much credit as you deserve here.
Thank you.
Shaq was number 3 behind Miller and Shine last season, but started the season under the radar, then exploded into the playoffs.
I think that had to do with play calling, though, because most of the year, Vita Vea wasn't there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, you got to look at the whole picture. You can't just say, oh, well, we turned them on when it was time to go. Yeah. I don't believe that's the case. I think they had to do some shuffling on the scheme.
That was obvious. I mean, we said that when Vita went down. I mean, the surprise was that we didn't lose as much in the middle as we thought we was going to lose.
Exactly. We just didn't have the guy up there taking up 3 people.
Yeah.
And
credit to Sue for that.
Yeah. He did. He kept that rookie or whatever, the second string guy that
the rotation. We had Newton Roaches and what's the other guy's name? I can't remember the other guy's name that rotated in with him and stuff. But Sue was taking up double teams. He stepped in and took his place. He took up the double teams, man.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on. David says yes. OBJ reported the OBJ thing.
That's possible.
OBJ won't be the same coming back from an ACL injury. No thanks. We'll talk about it. Well, it's similar with Dak. I'll talk about it when we talk about Dak as well. Zach says he DM'd McAfee that he did not report that. It's on the Pat McAfee show. Nice. I think the Bucs should trade for Gilmore from the Pats. And oh my God, you guys
need that guy.
You can't get everyone. You can't get everybody.
We need
We're going to get that shirt and break it out.
Oh my God. The cap in the NFL is the most pliable salary structure in all sports. They have so many ways to move money. Yes. Yakin says Sooner suck. Always get beaten in the playoffs. Roll dang tide. Okay. Have fun with that. Come on, Skip. Undisputed is the best. Way better than screaming Stephen A. Smith and Brady hater Max Kellerman.
I agree with that.
Stephen A. Smith. There's a clip somewhere online of me calling into the Stephen A. Smith show, and it's hilarious. It's one of my favorite things that I've ever done in my life. I think I asked him about like preseason. This was before I had my show. This was probably 2 years ago too. I was so nervous, but yeah. OBJ back to New York, but to the Jets. Am I crazy right now to say that if the Jets can give up not a lot, I do not want to give up a lot for him, but to get OBJ in the building, to get a wide receiver 1 on this team where he can shine back.
With no quarterback?
They have 3 viable options. They have 2.
Who would you take, Galladay or OBJ?
Galladay, but Galladay's going to have the biggest market of any receiver.
Well, don't count you guys out, man, because the Jets got quite a bit of capital to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Don't they have like
I don't want to pay Kenny Galladay $15 million a year because guess what? He didn't play most of last year. He's coming off an injury-ridden season, which I think
that's what OBJ's looking for is like 15.
But I think OBJ coming off that 1 ACL is better than Kenny Galladay getting hurt, coming back, getting hurt, coming back, getting hurt, coming back, getting hurt, doing that over and over and over again. Because at least OBJ has been rehabbing, and it's just that one injury you have to worry about. And I mean, how often do people re-aggravate their?
He
I
has
don't
an
know.
excuse for every year he's bad, though, and he's been bad a lot, man.
I don't know. I like Golladay obviously more than
When
OBJ.
Galladay's on the field, at least you know what you got.
Yeah, I mean,
That's like Mike Evans and Godwin. They've been injured quite a bit, but you know what you got when they're on the field. They're going to ball out, man.
Yeah. Stephen A. Smith will eat Shannon Sharp's lunch on a debate.
That's true.
I love
Stephen.
Stephen. It's hilarious. It's easy to pin your ears back when you're always scoring at will. Van makes an entire defensive line go. Can you imagine how big his contract is going to be?
Oh.
Well, he's still got 3 years yet, right?
I don't know what's going on tonight with these comments here. Other Pac-Man says other guy was McClendon, Steve McClendon, absolute one of the hardest from everything.
That's what I was thinking about.
Everything I've heard, Steve McClendon is one of the hardest working people in an NFL locker room, and is a great veteran to have there for your younger guys. So he's a guy I would actually keep around on the Bucs for sure next year. Sue and Nacho were huge in Double V's absence. Definitely. Zach says LMAO. Okay. Should we bring back Adrian Claiborne?
I was a huge Adrian Claiborne fan, and I'm glad the guy has been successful since leaving the Bucs. But no, we don't need him right now.
Yeah. Oh man, Jacob, are you a Jets fan? And then Matthew says, "OMG, you're a Jets fan, poor kid." Guys,
he said, "Wait a minute, Jets fans are in the most exciting part of their time right now."
Watch the show. Welcome to the show, guys. Yeah, I'm a Jets fan. Unfortunately, it's actually.
Man, I'm all green.
It's exciting. It's exciting right now. I'm actually having a lot of fun being a Jets fan. Right. Oh, man. So I got a question. Is Sam Darnold the future or not? Guys, we're almost gonna hit the 7:30 mark. I'm gonna wrap up the Buck stuff. I'm gonna bring in Harry the Greek. I'll get you guys out of here because I have the one-on-one segment with Harry the Greek coming up in a little bit, guys, and then we'll talk about all the way from Dak to these trade tag to the tags and all that trades and all the fun stuff. But guys, keep watching because it's going to be a lot of fun.
I gotta ask you a question before I leave, man.
Absolutely, go for it.
May, he's your tag guy.
We'll get there.
Later, bud.
I'll see you, man.
I'll see you later, Jacob.
I'll see you guys. Peace. All right, let's just get through some of these comments real quick. Jerome says, will the Bucs address the left tackle position in free agency or the draft? No, Donovan Smith is a great left tackle. He played really well at the end of last year. He had a bad first half of the year, but he had a really, really great, like when I say great, like a fantastic second half of the season. Max needs to go back to boxing. He sounds like an idiot talking football. Guys, yeah, get over these guys are getting paid to go out there and make you guys comment things like this. There's a reason why Skip Bayless just got paid, what, $32 million? Because people get mad at what he says, and there's a lot of interaction there. You have to understand how this business works. Yeah, Galladay is a better choice than OBJ. No one's arguing that. They'll extend Donovan Smith as they should. Why Donovan Smith? Okay, you guys covered for me there. You think the Bucs sign AB back? Absolutely. Some serious Brady derangement syndrome. And then David says, "Oh, the mouse broke, guys. Technical difficulties here tonight." I think the guy that Johnny was trying to think of is William Golston. Yes. And now, let's bring in the man himself, Harry the Greek. Harry, what is up, man? Oh, he's eating. This is great radio, guys. This is great.
It's a Girl Scout cookie. I swear to God, it's a Thin Mint.
What flavor?
Thin Mint.
Oh, it's a Thin Mint. There we go. I missed that last part. Yeah. Thin Mints. I'm not a big Thin Mint guy. Unless you put it. Okay, everyone knows about putting them in the freezer, but they're good in the freezer.
Where do you think I keep mine?
Yeah, that's a good one. So I'm a big Samoa guy, which is not the popular option, but I'm.
Man, the Samoas are unbelievable.
They're so good. The coconut and caramel. How can you don't beat those?
You can't beat it, Jacob. You can't beat it.
You don't beat it. That's why you guys come to watch the Hard Count Football Podcast live for Jacob Charno and Harry the Greek's great cookie talks.
Whatever kind of cookie we can have, we got to eat it.
Honestly. All right, Harry, let's talk football. A lot going on tonight. Let's start.
What?
Dak Prescott. Okay.
Oh God.
Dak Prescott. We're gonna disagree on this because my thoughts have changed on this a little bit.
The only thing I'm gonna agree with you about, they got him cheap.
Dak.
You heard me say that. They got him cheap because in 2 years from now you're gonna say, wow, that guy's underpaid.
Dak Prescott gets paid on a 4-year, $160 million contract, $126 million guaranteed, and a $66 million signing bonus, which I think is the biggest signing bonus in NFL history, if I'm correct.
I'm almost positive you are correct on that.
There's also a no trade clause and a no tag provision in his contract. So a lot going on there. I think it's a great move. I think this was a fantastic move, Harry, and here's why. The Cowboys found their quarterback in Dak Prescott. And one of my main rules in terms of the entire NFL is that you pay your quarterback. You pay your quarterback, no matter who it is. If you're going to argue with me that Dak hasn't really won anything in Dallas, then I'm not exactly sure you know what you're talking about. Because if you're going to look at a guy and say, oh, well, Deshaun Watson earned all his money. Deshaun Watson has, like one career playoff win, the same as Dak, or two maybe?
But Skip.
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 Those weapons.
You bring up great valid points. They both have weapons. Look, I'm not a Dallas fan. I am not a Dak Prescott fan. But Prescott did deserve the money that he was getting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you why they deserved it. Look how pathetic this team was without him this past year.
Oh my Lord.
But it wasn't just him. They lost a lot of people on the offense. Half the defense was banged up, but I don't think that defense was very good anyway. But the nice thing about it is every team in the National Football League is going to be non-existent because Prescott got his $160 million for 4 years. The good Lord has already anointed them the second coming of Christ, and they're supposed to win their next 5 Super Bowls. That's the way the media is going to portray it, which is a good thing because then Dallas doesn't get to the big dance because Washington's actually a better football team than they are. The Giants could potentially be a better football team than they are. Dallas, to me, is a very overrated team, but they did the right thing by signing Prescott. They did the right thing by signing him.
I'm not a big fan of I'm not a Dallas fan either, but I think those weapons that Dallas has surrounded Dak with aren't going anywhere. Amari Cooper's not going anywhere. I don't know about Michael Gallup, but CeeDee Lamb's only going to get better. He showed up last year. I think he's going to be a great receiver. They could address tight end a little bit, but Dalton Schultz he's a shaky guy. But listen, the problems with the Cowboys are on the offensive line and not defense. Their problems were never at quarterback. Dak was throwing. I know it's I guess a little skewed because a lot of it is garbage yards, but he was throwing for 500 yards a game before he got hurt.
Yeah,
right?
they had to though.
Right.
Okay, teams that have to throw for 500 yards a game when you have Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield.
That's who they shouldn't have paid.
That's. You're right, and I'm going to get to that, but that's an issue, and those issues lie a lot deeper than what the running game's been doing or what their defense has been doing. Dak, listen, man, Ezekiel Elliott is a top 5 running back that's running a lot like a top 50 running back, and basically on the other end of it. I mean, he kept doing this. Well, they did this, and then he got like this.
Oh my! Wait, how much? I want to know how much weight Zeke gained in the last 2 years.
I don't know, man. Did you see the belly on him? I don't know if that's photoshopped, but he better pray that's photoshopped because that's just ridiculous what he's done to his temple. Okay,
oh boy. Right. I mean, listen, Dak. There's no reason why you shouldn't have paid Dak. I mean, don't give yourself another position that you have to fill. If you have a quarterback on your team. And this is my same thing why when Jets fans are saying or anybody saying, oh, well, Deshaun Watson's like I don't want to take on that contract. Guess what? I would do anything. And if you're a team, you have a quarterback that is worth being paid that much, there's no reason to try and go elsewhere with it. Why take a shot on another guy when you already have your guy?
I would pay a 32-year-old Russell Wilson that money before I would have paid Dak Prescott, or even the boy down in Houston. I'm being honest, Deshaun Watson. I'm just being right up front with you. I don't care that Russell Wilson is 32 years old and a lot older than him. He is a flat out better quarterback.
Yes, absolutely. But the reality is Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson are currently not available to the Cowboys from what we know. So you have your guy.
That is true.
You can't take a shot on that. And then, you're ending up with Andy Dalton playing quarterback for your team again next year because, quite frankly, this team was awful when he played last year. And listen, Dak, and people will disagree with me here, but I've written it out. I know my rankings. Dak Prescott's a top 12 quarterback in the NFL right now. I think so.
I agree with you. I think he's not an I don't think he's the upper echelon quarterback like, the Tom Brady, the Patrick Mahomes, the Billy Goat, our boy up there in Green Bay. He's not a Russell Wilson. No, he's not. You know what?
Dak shows up every time he's on the field, though, Harry.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to put Dak Prescott probably a top 8 quarterback in the National Football League. Not a top 15, probably a top 8.
All right. Listen, you heard it here first. Harry the Greek says it.
I would. Now let's talk about your quarterback.
We will. Oh, we will.
Oh, yeah.
But
do you know what he's going to get paid?
nothing.
Oh, no. He's going to get paid a lot of money. He's going to make a lot of money. And it's not going to, and you heard it first right here, because I've been teasing you because I honestly thought that he's going to end up staying a Jet. Ladies and gentlemen, he's going to take the money and he's going to run and he's going to get signed by another team because the Jets are not going to pay him the kind of money that he's going to command. Sorry, Jacob. I know that breaks your heart to hear that Sam Darnold's going to be leaving, but I've changed my mind. I've had a change of heart. After seeing what Dak Prescott has already made, he's going bye-bye.
Welcome to my side, Harry. But can we agree on this, that the only reason Dak Prescott gets so much hate is because of the logo he wears on his helmet?
Yep, I think same way as Tom Brady does because he was a Patriot for so many years.
But I think the Patriots were also mostly hated because of Tom Brady and because they were winning. I think that's one of the main reasons.
Well, I mean, Deflate Gate, that gate, this gate, the other gate, the broken gate, and everything else. Everybody hates them.
Heaven's Gate, yeah.
Heaven's Gate, Satan's Gate.
Yeah, a lot of gates here. But let's talk Sam Darnold a little bit because I really think he's gone. He is.
No, he's gonna go because he's gonna command the paycheck.
Do you think he's gonna be a Bear? Harry the Greek, right here, right now?
No.
I think he's gonna.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I wish he'd be a Chicago Bear, just so I could show you they would know how to develop somebody. Ooh,
I couldn't deal with you on a daily basis if Sam Darnold went to the Bears and was successful.
No, there's actually a lot of talk about that going on. There's also a lot of talk for Russell Wilson going to Chicago. But I have to be honest with you, they don't have the trade capital away from it. However, with that being said, from what I understand and per my sources, Seattle has requested, as well as the Jets, if Darnold was going to be on the trading block.
Oh my God. Sam Darnold as a Seahawk. Oh, I would laugh. It
would be Khalil Mack and Nick Foles, plus 2 first-rounders. Just letting you know that it would be Nick Foles, Khalil Mack, and 2 first-rounders for either one of those 2 quarterbacks. That would be Darnold or Wilson.
That's ridiculous. That's an insane offer. That is a ridiculous offer.
Yep. I mean, I think it's ridiculous too.
I've heard that Sam Darnold is probably going to end up on the Niners. That's just from what I've heard. I heard the Niners are extremely interested, and I even read somewhere that it's apparently a done deal. It's not a done deal. Nothing is a done deal in the NFL right now. But
they said Carson Wentz was a done deal going to Chicago. Remember that 2 weeks ago?
Oh my God! Yeah. Now.
Did you know the Bears never even had an offer for him?
Right.
I want you to think about that and think about what the media was trying to make everybody portray. Oh, Chicago's the front runner for him. They never even made an offer for Carson Wentz. You don't know what to believe anymore. But I could tell you one thing: you could believe everything you hear on this show because it's validated, it's checked. Not once, but twice, 3 times because we're nice.
Exactly. That's the kind of content you get here and on Wednesday nights. I don't know. It's an exciting. I like how the Jets have 2 viable options at quarterback. They have 3 viable options at quarterback that they could go with. Right? They could stick with Sam Darnold. They could go with Justin Fields, or they could go with Zach Wilson.
Let me ask you a question. What about a Mitch Trubisky going to your
I'm high. I'm high. I'm not as low on him as other people. I'm not as high on him as you are. I think he still has the potential to be a really good quarterback. I just don't think it's in New York. He needs to go somewhere with a system that is there and ready for him to just walk into. I think that I think that Washington is a great option for him. That's a team.
New England, Washington, Pittsburgh. Those are the teams that have been really interested in him. I hope the Bears don't lose him personally. Because if you could ever convince Matt Nagy not to call the plays,
there's no way that they kept Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace only to also keep Mitch Trubisky.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with you.
I just that's the reality of it. I just can't see them. It would feel like a punch in the face, just a big middle finger to all Bears fans all over if you guys were to keep Mitch Trubisky also as well as this front office, right? I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know. Moving on, a lot of tags to get through today. A lot of
Yeah,
tags. Let's get through
I did want to touch on one thing before we go through the tags.
Let's do it.
Let's go back to Tampa really quick.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do they keep Shaq Barrett? And if so, why? And I'm glad the other people aren't on the panel so we couldn't debate this because they don't have the money to go ahead and retain him. You cannot retain Ndamukong Suh and Shaq Barrett, both of them, to keep them on this team because they just don't have enough swing capital. Tom Brady could take no money for the entire year, and they still don't have enough money to sign the both of them.
Yeah. I think that they should have prioritized Shaq Barrett over Chris Godwin, but that's I don't know. People will disagree with me there for sure. But
I agree with you. Let's move on. Sorry.
all right, wait. First of all, I have another Tampa topic. This is a super random one that I saw, and this was me scrolling through NFL.com, reading some stuff. Apparently, Gerald McCoy said that he would love to be back in Tampa. He's 33 years old. This would not be a smart move for the Bucs. You draft young. You draft young on the defensive line. You need to do it. Not a 33-year-old wash-up lineman coming off an injury. And
Who's that?
He just wants to Gerald McCoy.
Be a better option right now, and everybody can disagree with me. Gerald McCoy would be a better option than Ndamukong Suh, and a third of the price, and he would be just as effective, if not more effective, than Ndamukong Suh because of Vita Vea. That's it.
You heard it here first. There you go. That's the content you come here for.
Now you'd be able to retain Shaq Barrett if you got Gerald McCoy to come here.
Right.
Okay, but Gerald McCoy, there's some kind of bad blood between this team and him. That doesn't even interest me. That's just a hypothetical. Yes, he is 32 years old. No, he's not washed up. He can still play, and that would definitely be the savings they would need in order to re-sign Shaq Barrett.
People are going to have something to say no matter what happens with this team, right? Whether they keep Suh and get rid of Barrett or Barrett comes back and they sign Gerald McCoy, people like complaining about things. So, yeah, there we go.
Oh, my God. The comments are blowing up. Oh, Harry, I'm insane. I love it.
Oh, boy.
Hey, there's someone in there says, I think Harry's right. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate
Johnson. He's been at it all night tonight. I don't know. Anyway, the tags now. Finally, the tags. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
First, the New York Jets. They tagged Marcus May $10.5 million for a safety. I think it just kind of feels like they're working a longer term deal. Huge piece to get back though on this defense. Marcus May, we thought we got rid of our best safety last year. However, our best safety was still playing safety on our team. And that was Marcus May. And he's an absolute unit. He's a leader. And his agent's I don't even know. Nothing PG that I can use on here, but he's an absolute fantastic player. I'm happy we can get him back. I really hope we can work on a long-term deal with him because he's a player that I'm a big fan of, and I want his jersey. And every single time I get a Jets jersey, everyone leaves. So it's very upsetting. It's so ridiculously upsetting, Harry.
I have a solution for you about that.
Jarrell Revis. I'm working on it.
Just don't get any more Jets jerseys.
Fair enough.
Just get one that says Jets, and next thing you know, they'll sell them.
Or the Jets, and I'll get my name on the back of it. Listen, we're just thinking here. We're just spitballing. Okay. The Bears. They used their franchise tag today.
Yes, they did. I told you. A-Rob, baby.
Allen Robinson is back on the Bears, at least for next year.
He's not going anywhere.
Have you thought about a tag and trade? Or does that seem unrealistic at this point?
Well, no, because I told you this 3 weeks ago. It depends all on the quarterback situation. If they go out and get a Russell Wilson or a Sam Darnold, they keep him. Okay. If they do not go out and get Russell Wilson or a Sam Darnold, it was a tag and trade. And I already said this 2 weeks ago. It was on your show.
Yeah. I think, listen, we'll take him in New York. I thought we were going to get him in New York. I was so confident we were getting him.
I thought you were getting him or you were going to get Chris Godwin. It was going to be either one of the two.
Now it seems like
two ballers.
Now it seems like Juju or or Kenny Galladay are our main options. I think those are the two guys that Joe Douglas makes
Yeah,
a big
man.
run for.
People have got to put this narrative to bed. Kenny Galladay, this guy can't even stay on a football field. Okay, he gets hurt to go grab. He gets hurt walking off the field at halftime.
Yeah, I said that. I would rather have Juju than Kenny Galladay really for right now, because I think Denzel Mims can stay healthier and follow that and kind of fill a Kenny Galladay like role on this team.
I got Juju going to Jacksonville.
God, I can't deal with that. I don't think I need to land. The Jets need to land a free agent. They need to.
They're going to get a mediocre, middle of the road free agent, and they're going to draft everything that they got coming.
Curtis Samuel, then probably. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Curtis Samuel. You'd be blessed to get him.
I love Curtis Samuel. I think.
Oh my God,
one of my top options.
That man is a baller, flat out baller.
He's Deebo Samuel, but better and can do more as an actual receiver than Deebo Samuel can.
I wish Johnny Dean was still on right now, because he would probably have something to say about Curtis Samuel, because he knows this guy inside and out. Yeah. I mean, inside and out. That guy is a diamond in the rough, and with the proper coaching, you put him on a team that's a really good running team. Oh, Lord have mercy, because they'll never double team him. He'll be open every single play.
The Jets are going to be a run-heavy team next year. Mm-hmm. A very run-heavy team.
And defense.
Yeah, run first. It's going to be like the Niners. We're going to feel like the Niners 2 years ago is what it's going to be. Because, I mean, it's the same staff for the most part.
So who else tagged players? Who else is going to get tagged?
The Packers didn't use the tag on Aaron Jones.
No way they didn't.
No, they did not.
And I said there was no way that they would let him get away.
Guys, Harry just comes on my show to just boast about how right he is.
No, I said that there was no way they wouldn't tag him.
Oh, Harry was wrong. Harry came on to say,
I can't. Shh. No, seriously, but they can't afford to let him go.
Yeah,
they can't. They're going to have to sign him.
Well, they did.
Oh my God.
They let him go, and I don't think it really matters. I think AJ Dillon's a tank, not to the level. I don't think he's at the caliber of Aaron Jones as a running back, but AJ Dillon's, I think he's going to be a great back in the NFL. And if
really,
I really do. From what I saw last year, I think he's going to be a really, really solid running back. I'm drafting him in all my fantasy leagues next year. Absolutely.
Are you going to draft David Montgomery from Chicago?
I probably, if I have the opportunity to. It depends on the quarterback, but I probably will. I think that's a big it's something. We'll see. Running backs are a weird place for me.
I can't wait to see where all the chips are going to fly here in the next couple of weeks, because this is getting really so exciting.
So exciting.
I mean, I'm wondering if this is smoke and mirrors with Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson. You know, I just really wonder if it's smoke and mirrors. But
I think Russ, yes. Deshaun, no.
Yep. I know Sam Darnold's going to get paid. You heard it here first. Jet fans don't like him. I'm telling you now, that man just got paid. After seeing what Dak Prescott got, and this kid's younger with more upside, oh boy.
Washington should pay him a lot of money. Washington should pay him a nice chunk of money. But I don't know. He hasn't really done anything he hasn't played a full healthy season. So that definitely doesn't help his case at all. But I don't know. Darnold's it's a very it's an interesting place, because they're, on one hand, he has never played a full healthy season. He really hasn't done anything to impress anybody in the NFL and in actual game play, right? He has one great throw per season, right? Like one great throw per season. But there's also, he's 23 years old. He does show those glimpses of talent and everything. So you can really look at it from either side. And I think there are teams who are looking at it from either side, because there are some GMs like me and some GMs like you who are, some guys love him, some guys don't. And
I didn't say I loved him. I said he's got a lot of promise.
Mm-hmm.
The ownership and the general manager have done nothing good for that young man whatsoever.
No, definitely not.
And it's not too late, Jacob. It's not too late for Sam Darnold. This team right now with the proper draft is going to win 8 games, maybe even 9 with Sam Darnold under center this year. They're going to play defense. They will run the football. You get one receiver and a couple of linemen, it's over. this team will have a winning season.
Yeah. No, I would love to believe you. I would love to believe you. And I do. And I do legitimately believe that they will. But I do every year. So I guess hearing
really, Frank Gore? I mean, I'm just thinking about that. Who did they have at running back?
Frank Gore. And we actually have a Jets running back question in the comments right now from Zach.
What is it?
Jacob, what do you think LaMichael Piron's role would be next year with Gase gone? I have him on my dynasty squad, but I'm afraid y'all will draft a running back. Guess what? Get rid of him. We're going to draft a running back. It's going to be a committee. He's not going to be worth anything. He's going to be a solid back, but he's not going to get a lot of touches.
I agree with that.
We're going to go out there and sign an experienced guy like a Marlon Mack, or if God, please let Philip Lindsay or Tony Pollard walk. Please let Tony Pollard walk. I love Tony Pollard. And then I think we'll end up drafting a guy in the late rounds, probably around 3 or 4, again, like we did last year. Definitely. Absolutely. Jets fans have no reason to hate Darnold. What the hell have the Jets done? What the hell have the Jets surrounded him with? Crowder, the dinosaur Frank Gore. People are still trying to jump the gun on guys. Okay, I'll defend Crowder because I don't want to hear any Jamison Crowder slander here. Jamison Crowder is a fantastic slot receiver, one of the most effective in the entire NFL at what he does. But I agree with you that they have done nothing. And we don't hate Darnold. I think I speak on behalf of every single Jets fan where we say we want to watch him succeed somewhere. We would love for it to be in New York, but it's not going to be in New York, right? Because and the people who still want him around have grown such a connection to him just because he was supposed to be that savior in 2018, and he isn't.
He still can be. Stop.
No, I don't think in New York he can't.
Yes, he can.
I think
yes, he can. Start. It's just like the guy's comment about Jamison Crowder. You're going to defend him, but Jamison Crowder could have did a lot better for this team. Do you know why he wasn't as effective? Because you don't have a solid number one. If you had a solid number one wide receiver, that's the whole objective, to have a really good slot receiver, because you're not going to command a double. And you're going to get open. If all you've got to do is worry about Jamison Crowder as a receiver because you don't have a solid number one, you can make him ineffective.
Yeah. I just think, okay. I think the main reason why I'm more okay with the Jets getting rid of Darnold is because I think, and it's kind of a ridiculous thing to say, but I think Zach Wilson's upside is much higher than what I've seen from Sam Darnold so far. And it's hard to say that right now because he's never played an NFL snap, but I don't know. Harry, I'm reading your mind right now. I think I read your mind with the fact that he's never played an NFL snap before, so it's hard to judge that. But I don't know. From what I've seen from Zach Wilson, I love it.
Prospects, they're exactly what they are. They're prospects. Jacob, there are more picks that are taken in the top 10 that are bust than are good. That's all I'm going to say. There are more draft picks in the first round that don't make it. They're below mediocrity than they are being superstars.
Yeah.
I'll tell New York fans just the same way I'll tell anybody else, work with what you have. It's better off to dance with the devil that you know, because the devil that you know, at least you're familiar with him. And he's not a bad quarterback. He's just not. He's not a bad quarterback. He was in the wrong system. There's not a quarterback that could have worked in Adam Gase's system. Not one. Not even Jay Cutler could work with the guy. Okay? Think about that.
Yeah, you're right. And the Tannehill stuff. I mean, I don't know. I think as a fan, I want a fresh start because I need to look at week 1 next year and see something completely different, which is Robert Saleh on the sideline, Zach Wilson starting at quarterback. That's what I need to see next year. But
and you see a team starting 0-5.
Yeah.
Come on. Now you keep Sam Darnold, you draft a quarterback, and you draft a second-tier quarterback, you let him sit, 3rd or 4th round, you let him sit, you develop him. You already know you have a battle-tested quarterback. Just surround them with people and then hold on. And hold on.
Well, here's something I find interesting, and we have like probably 5 or 6 minutes left on the air before, so we have a lot to talk about. But this is the last thing I'll say here about the Jets. I am a big fan of bringing in an Alex Smith. If we are drafting Zach Wilson, I think we need to bring in a bridge quarterback, because you don't see a lot of guys come in. Justin Herbert didn't start week 1. I mean, 2 is a different story, but unless you're the number 1 pick, there is no reason why you should have to start week 1. You might
as well bring in Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I mean, Fitzpatrick, I think Alex Smith would fit that play action style offense better than Fitzpatrick would. But I would love to have either of them. I think they're both great quarterbacks, and are great veterans to learn from, especially for whoever the quarterback is. Moving on, we have some more news to get to. Offensive tackle Trent Brown from the Raiders gets traded back to the Patriots. That's not huge news, but the big news here is that Joe Thuney is going to hit the open market. And Joe Thuney is a big name. 10th best offensive lineman in the entire league last year, ranked by Pro Football Focus. He's going to get paid a lot of money. Offensive line is so limited in free agency this offseason, especially with Brandon Scherf getting the tag from Washington, that a lot of these guys are going to get paid a nice amount of money, especially Thuney. I hate to bring it back to the Jets, but Joe Thuney, Joe Douglas was ready to pay him last year, and then he got tagged late, ready to give him the bag. I think that the Jets are going to be knocking on the door again for Thuney this offseason. What do you think?
I agree with you on that one. There's no reason why they can't grab him. They definitely have the money, and they definitely have the capital to do it. That's a very, very, very good point. But I can't believe that Washington actually franchise tag Scherf. I really can't.
He's a great player, though. I think.
Now you remember earlier in the year they wanted nothing to do with him, and he was demanding a trade, and he were entertaining offers for him. That's why I said it's so much BS. Everything you hear on from the media, it's just they want to start false narratives just so that they can get some kind of ratings. For what? Why don't you just wait till something happens? Everybody wants to create a false narrative, and I can't stand that.
Yeah, for sure. And the final thing we're going to talk about tonight, right here, is a weird one. Something that we don't talk about a lot on here.
What's that?
A player that I haven't really talked about a lot in the last however long, because I have been watching a lot about him.
Who's that?
That would be Zach Ertz.
Oh.
And Zach Ertz, from what I'm hearing, is they're going to trade Zach Ertz in the coming days. And I'm still a very, very strong believer in Zach Ertz. And I think that a lot of his bad play from last year was from bad quarterback play. And I think that he can still perform not only at an efficient level, but I think he can still perform at an elite level as a tight end. And I think that if he can get to a system that will use him correctly and use him like he should be, a few of these that I have written down, the main teams I have are the Colts, the Patriots, the Panthers, and the Bills are four that I think he would thrive in. Those are four offenses he would
possibly the Bears as well, because Jimmy Graham may not be retained.
So many tight ends on the Bears. Didn't you guys have like 9 at the start of last year? Wasn't that like
yeah, 7 of them were no good.
That's fair. That's fair. I guess you bring in all of them until you can bring in as many options as you need until you find the one. I mean,
Zach Ertz is a premier he's still a premier tight end in this National Football League. He really is. He needs a change of scenery. Okay, that is one player. You see, you and I agree with that.
There we go.
That is one player that needs a change of scenery.
Zach Ertz, and then I forgot to mention Hunter Henry is also hitting the free agent market. He's going to be probably the most sought after free agent tight end.
Who?
Hunter Henry he's going to hit the market this offseason.
Really?
Yes, he is. And so is Jonnu Smith, two guys I'm big fans of, and for the Jets as well. I think I'm a big believer in Chris Herndon. I still think he can come out and be great. But I think Robert Saleh or Mike LaFleur is going to be looking at this offense and saying it's the San Francisco system, and looking at how effective George Kittle was in that San Francisco offense. You need a great tight end in there, and I think Hunter Henry would fill that role perfectly. And Jonnu Smith as well. Both those are great. And Chris Herndon as a blocking tight end that can catch. He showed up at the end of last year. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Hunter Henry, and if you watch any Hunter Henry film, everyone would be extremely impressed by him. But yeah, Harry, we got to wrap this show up for tonight, and I'm working on getting the show longer, and we will. The show will get longer eventually, but for now, go ahead, promote yourself, tell us where we can find you.
Where you can find me? In my house, my kitchen right here. No, I'm only kidding. Tomorrow, Wednesday night, 9:00 or just before, you can visit me with my show. It's the Over and Under with Harry the Greek. Tomorrow evening, I'm going to have my co-host, Mr. Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy. I'm also going to have a special guest with Peter Blake and yours truly right over here. Give me the double deuces, my brother right there. Yep, we're going to be talking all about all the trades that are going to be happening in the National Football League, not just with Tampa. We're also going to talk about the rest of the National Football League, and we might have a surprise guest, a former Major League pitcher, coming on to talk a little bit of baseball.
Ooh, some fun stuff, Harry. I'll talk to you soon, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Take care of yourself. Thank you so much for having me on. You take care of yourself, Jacob.
All right, I'll talk to you soon, man. Peace.
Bye.
All right, guys, and with that, we're going to wrap today from the Hard Count Football Podcast Live. My name is Jacob Charno, and thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. Be sure to go check out everyone, Harry the Greek, check out Tempe Ray as well. That's a free shout-out for him. He wasn't even on the show tonight. Matt Colson, Johnny Dean, check out everybody. A lot of great stuff going on, especially right here on Bucks Report. Be sure to go follow me on Twitter at Jacob Charno and on Instagram at Hard Count Football. As always, remember to check out the Hard Count Football Podcast live every single Tuesday night right here at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Hard Count Football YouTube channel and on Bucks Report. Be sure to go check out other videos from Hard Count Football and subscribe.